You may have heard that Kanye West is now really pushing hard on that whole Jesus thing. I mean, he's always been a Christian. One of his first big songs was Jesus Walks. But in the past few weeks, his album Jesus is King went #1 on the Christian albums charts. He's also been conducting his own Sunday services much of this year, full of music and God. He told James Corden he got a $68 million tax refund last year because of God, and not just because he's really wealthy. And he apparently wants his wife Kim Kardashian to dress very conservatively, which I'm sure will totally work out and last forever. Okay, I mean, we'll see if this all lasts. I don't particularly care either way. But this weekend, he's apparently visiting Joel Osteen's Lakewood Church in Houston, Texas. If you're not familiar with Joel Osteen, we are talking about one of the most popular Christian pastors on TV whose church is actually a former basketball arena. He's more self-help than fire and brimstone, but all that self-help comes while he's holding a Bible, so it counts as Christianity for some people. They will do a 20-minute interview. Kanye's traveling choir will sing. And it makes sense why they would do this. I mean, if you're looking for a big platform, Osteen is the way to go. His sermons reach a TV audience of millions of people. It's a publicity stunt for two guys who love the spotlight. But there's one issue I really hope Kanye brings up. In 2005, you might remember, he famously said on live TV that George W. Bush doesn't care about black people. He was referring to Bush's pathetic response after Hurricane Katrina hit New Orleans. He said Bush wasn't doing enough to help the poor and the less well-off. And he was right. I mean, it was really amazing to hear someone with his popularity speak truth to power when people were paying attention. Well, interesting thing about that. A couple of years ago, when Hurricane Harvey hit Houston, Joel Osteen's megachurch, which can comfortably hold about 16,000 people, was apparently closed off to people seeking shelter from the storm. As someone on Twitter put it, that building only provides shelter from taxes. Now, there were some reports that said the church was flooded and it might have been a safety hazard to let people in. But church officials themselves said later that wasn't the issue and that they were totally open, even though it's not like you'll find pictures of thousands of wet bodies sitting in the seats. They eventually set up air mattresses around the lobby, at least after the public shaming. They also served as a distribution center for goods, so yay for that. They even released a statement saying, "We are prepared to house people once shelters reach capacity." Not before, but when people have no other options, they'll maybe open their arena doors to people who need help. Whatever the real story was, the point is that one of the biggest churches in the country, at a time when people could have used their help more than ever, were not inviting people to come inside and have a roof over their heads. It was only days later that they did the bare minimum. If Kanye was willing to speak truth to power nearly 15 years ago, I want to know if he's willing to do that now. What's he gonna say to Joel Osteen? Will he criticize him for not doing enough for the least of these? Or will he just use the platform to promote himself and act like a fanboy just like he does around Donald Trump? As critics have pointed out, Lakewood Church has room for Kanye's ego, but not hurricane victims.